Hey, thanks for joining us today, guys. Sadie Anderson and I are going to interview Josh with just some questions that we have, and we know you all have as well, about this whole decision to move from in-service to online platform for a while. So we're just going to jump into it and see where things take us.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. So I'm going to start with the first question.
Okay.
What was your reasoning for pulling out of in-house and going to an online platform?
Yeah.
In general?
Yeah. So there's a couple things. One is I felt like when everything was kind of loosening up and opening up, I kind of defaulted to my normal, the easy thing, and just said, okay, well, let's see what people want. And as I referenced in the first part of the message, Starfish and the Spider today, I just defaulted to the survey instead of what was in my heart to do. And so I wanted to get back and get that right. I felt like, man, I missed it, I messed up, I had a clear path forward, and we just slipped back into the known rather than really take the risk and, like our church has always done, which is kind of see the future, reshape it, and create a better scenario. And so that was one thing. And then second, as I disobeyed, which is hard to say, but I'm totally cool with it. As I disobeyed, I saw that was having a negative impact on people, on our staff, on our church family. And I was like, hey, we got a lot of output going in and not a lot of return. And I guess the takeaway that I would say for anybody watching as like a spiritual journey moment is, it doesn't matter how hard you work in disobedience, the disobedience isn't gonna produce fruit, And so we were like pushing every button, pulling every lever, trying everything we could. And I was like, no, we gotta get this right. And so we just reset, and I went back to the moment where I had the starfish and the spider picture and said, that's where we gotta be. That's really where we gotta be.
Well, and I think when you look at statistics and surveys, there's only a certain number or type of people that are going to take them. They're rule followers. They're the people that are dedicated, like, yes, I'm coming to service, or no, I'm not. But those in the middle people probably were like, I could take it or I could leave it right now, and they're just not going to answer your survey.
Probably
so
not.
It was probably skewed anyways.
It could have been, and the big reason in addition to those two things, and I guess I want to say this too because I think that we all tend to be a little skeptical and like, what's really the reason? This is what he said, but what really is it? And so I'm a pretty straightforward person. You all know me pretty well, and I also felt like disheartened that we were compromising our ability to reach the lost and mobilize the believer. Mm-hmm. And so we needed to make an adjustment.
I think that's the key, is mobilizing.
Yes, it is. It definitely is. Great question. Let's keep it rolling on some more questions. Well, let me just say this while you're looking.
Yeah.
Because I had conversations with both these ladies over the phone, and I was like, these are questions that people have. Like, let's ask them, let's put it on screen, let's just answer the questions, because y'all kind of, you love our church, and you kind of came at me with that love, like, what are you doing to our church?
Right. Yeah, and I know, I felt like my entrance to that conversation with you was, I'm not questioning your leadership, because I trust that, but I will tell you, I was so disappointed.
Yeah.
Because I felt like we were moving in my head.
Yeah.
We were moving forward. We were, coming back. We were being bold.
Yeah.
And then it was just a disappointment.
Sure.
And it was added to the frustration of everything else that we feel so out of control of.
Yeah.
So it took a while for me to process, to get that negativity out of my head, because if I just focused on how frustrated I was with everything going around, and now I can't even go to church.
Yeah.
That was completely shutting the door on allowing the Lord to give me that space to say, wait a minute, let's just process this and let me show you
exactly
what I'm doing.
So good.
So, and I think that is something that we all need to do and you mentioned that this morning, like quit focusing on all the negativity, because it's easy to go down that rabbit hole and spend an embarrassingly amount of time on social media, like agreeing with all these people that are just spewing their frustrations online, and you're like, yes, but that nothing productive is coming out of that.
Yeah. I want to say two things about that.
Yes.
Number one, let's be careful about not transferring our emotional disappointments to God and making it a spiritual disappointment. Like, we have to all guard that. I'm susceptible, you're susceptible. And the way we do that is we kind of gunny sack or put all of our frustrations and disappointments in a bag, a backpack, if you will. We carry them along, and then something trips us, and we just dump it out on the closest person to us.
Yes.
And often it's God. Like, okay, God, you messed this up, you
Right.
ruined this, and you dump it, you just dump it out. And the second thing that you said is now leaving my mind. But maybe it'll come back to me. But just like managing those frustrations and those disappointments is radically important.